Spy movies have been a staple in cinema since the silent era, and it could be argued they just keep getting better. Secret agents, fancy gadgets, thrilling action, and shady organizations are some of the best parts of these movies. There is a variety of stories in the spy genre itself, from historical dramas to action thrillers to serious biopics. In today's video, 10 best spy movies of all the time according to IMDb are included. Ten. Bridge of Spies. 2015 movie. In 1957, lawyer James B. Donovan is recruited from his prestigious law firm to defend accused Soviet spy Rudolf Abel. It's an unenviable task in many respects. Donovan hasn't practiced criminal law since he was a prosecutor at the Nuremberg trials after World War II. Also, the strong anti-communist mood at the time makes him a target from who think Abel should just be executed. Abel is convicted, but Donovan convinces the judge to sentence him to prison, rather than execute him, as they may at some point in the future want to swap him for an American spy the Soviets might have in custody. Just such a scenario comes into play when in 1960 U-2 spy pilot Francis Gary Powers is shot down over Soviet territory and taken prisoner. Donovan is again recruited to act as the intermediary and negotiate swapping Abel for the American, requiring him to travel to East Berlin, crossing the newly built Berlin Wall. Bridge of Spies scored 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb. 9. Argo. 2012 movie. The movie starts with a tense situation in Iran. There is an angry mob surrounding the U.S. Embassy. The Americans inside of the building are requesting help from the Iranian police, but the police do not come to their aid. The people in the building are instructed by their superiors to burn everything, shred everything. A small group of 6 people escape the building, but the rest are held hostage for over 69 days. The 6 that escape make it to the Canadian ambassador's home in Iran, and the Americans at home are trying to create a plan to rescue them. Meanwhile, they're getting pressure from the American people, who are outraged and voicing that outrage clearly. Tony Mendez, Ben Affleck, gets an idea on how to save the 6 Americans. His plan is to say that the 6 are a scouting crew for a film looking into Iran, and then the men will disguise themselves as a film crew and swoop in to rescue them. Mendez enlists John Chambers, John Goodman, a big-time movie producer, to aid him in creating a production company to produce a fake movie in order to create a realistic cover. Argo scored 7.7 out of 10 on IMDb. 8. Kingsman. The Secret Service. 2014 movie. For more than 20 years Harry Hart, Colin Firth, has been a Kingsman, and often he would advocate for those without a silver spoon to join the society which has existed for more than 100 years. His latest candidate he put up is Gary Eggsy Onwent Taron Egerton, who is the son of a fallen comrade who died saving Harry's life. So, to repay him, and save him from wasting his own potential, he puts him through testing. All the while, billionaire Richmond Valentine, Samuel L. Jackson, is looking into the pollution issue. Something him and his assistant Gazelle, Sophia Botella, are working to solve through a human genocide. Leading to Harry, and the rest of the Kingsmen, to go after this eccentric billionaire whose intentions may be good, but his methods horrendous. Kingsman. The Secret Service scored 7.7 out of 10 on IMDb. 7. Mission Impossible, Fallout. 2018 movie. Ethan Hunt and his IMF team, along with some familiar allies, race against time after a mission gone wrong. 2 years after Ethan Hunt had successfully captured Solomon Lane, the remnants of the syndicate have reformed into another organization called the Apostles. Under the leadership of a mysterious fundamentalist known only as John Lark, the organization is planning on acquiring 3 plutonium cores. Ethan and his team are sent to Berlin to intercept them, but the mission fails when Ethan saves Luther and the Apostles escape with the plutonium. With CIA agent August Walker joining the team, Ethan and his allies must now find the plutonium cores before it's too late. Mission Impossible, Fallout scored 7.7 out of 10 on IMDb. 6. The Conversation. 1974 movie. Harry Call is a surveillance expert who can bug people at any time and anywhere. Living in an isolated world, his business is his work. One day, he records a young couple having a conversation in a park in San Francisco. When he finally is able to piece together the entire recording, he soon realizes that there's something definitely with this couple's conversation. Fearing that they are being targeted by someone who wants them dead, Call races against time to figure out the truth before the couple get assassinated by whoever is behind this murder plot. As his investigation leads him deeper to the revelation, his relationship with fellow colleague, who he works for, and his closest friends started to deteriorate. Soon, Call finds himself entrapped in a world where the truth is far more deceiving than what it seems to be. The Conversation scored 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb. 5. The Day of the Jackal. 1973 movie. At around 5 minutes in the shooting at the Petit Clamart ambush, the lower part of the rear window of the presidential limousine is shattered and falls to pieces, but when the car arrives at the airport, the rear window, though badly cracked, is still largely in place. The amount of gray in Label's hair changes noticeably in different scenes, beyond what lighting conditions would account for. Much grayer for some reports given in the conference room, distinctly less so in other settings. At around 1h24 minutes, at the hotel, the Jackal checks the guest book to find out Colette's room number. Each guest has a date of birth next to their name, Colette's being August 1933, which would have made her 30 at the time the film was set. 1963, however, her character is supposed to be around 40 and has a 19-year-old son. At around 2h15 minutes, when the Jackal first is trying to get a target on the president, the shot is taken outside the building and you can clearly see rain pouring down the roof tiles. Next shot shows the president and the crowd all dry with no sight of rain anywhere. Michael Lonsdale's Claude Label hair goes from dark brown to gray throughout the film. The Day of the Jackal scored 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb. 4. The Bourne Ultimatum. 2007 movie. Jason Bourne dodges a ruthless CIA official and his agents from a new assassination program while searching for the origins of his life as a trained killer. Bourne is once again brought out of hiding, this time inadvertently by London-based reporter Simon Ross, who is trying to unveil Operation Blackbriar, an upgrade to Project Treadstone, in a series of newspaper columns. Bourne sets up a meeting with Ross and realizes instantly they're being scanned. Information from the reporter stirs a new set of memories, and Bourne must finally, ultimately, uncover his dark past whilst dodging the company's best efforts in trying to eradicate him. The Bourne Ultimatum scored 8 out of 10 on IMDb. 3. Casino Royale. 2006 movie. After earning 00 status and a license to kill, secret agent James Bond sets out on his first mission as 007. Bond must defeat a private banker funding terrorists in a high-stakes game of poker at Casino Royale, Montenegro. James Bond Daniel Craig goes on his first mission as 00. Le Chiffre Mads Mikkelsen is a banker to the world's terrorists. He is participating in a poker game at Montenegro, where he must win back his money, in order to stay safe amongst the terrorist market. The boss of MI6, known simply as M, Dame Judi Dench, sends Bond, along with Vesper Lind Ava Green, to attend this game and prevent Le Chiffre from winning. Bond, using help from Felix Leiter, Jeffrey Wright, Rene Mathis, Giancarlo Giannini, and having Vesper pose as his partner, enters the most important poker game in his already dangerous career. Casino Royale scored 8 out of 10 on IMDb. 2. North by Northwest. 1959 movie. A New York City advertising executive goes on the run after being mistaken for a government agent by a group of foreign spies, and falls for a woman whose loyalties he begins to doubt. Madison Avenue advertising man Roger Thornhill finds himself thrust into the world of spies when he is mistaken for a man by the name of George Kaplan. Foreign spy Philip Van Dam and his henchman Leonard try to eliminate him, but when Thornhill tries to make sense of the case, he is framed for murder. Now on the run from the police, he manages to board the 20th Century Limited bound for Chicago, where he meets a beautiful blonde, Eve Kendall, who helps him to evade the authorities. His world is turned upside down yet again when he learns that Eve isn't the innocent bystander he thought she was. Not all is as it seems, however, leading to a dramatic rescue and escape at the top of Mount Rushmore. North by Northwest scored 8.3 out of 10 on IMDb. 1. The Lives of Others. 2006 movie. In 1984 East Berlin, an agent of the secret police, conducting surveillance on a writer and his lover, finds himself becoming increasingly absorbed by their lives. Gerd Wiesler is an officer with the Stasi, the East German secret police. The film begins in 1984 when Wiesler attends a play written by Georg Draiman, who is considered by many to be the ultimate example of the loyal citizen. Wiesler has a gut feeling that Draiman can't be as ideal as he seems, and believes surveillance is called for. The Minister of Culture agrees, but only later does Wiesler learn that the minister sees Draiman as a rival and lusts after his partner Christa Maria. The more time he spends listening in on them, the more he comes to care about them. The once rigid Stasi officer begins to intervene in their lives, in a positive way, protecting them whenever possible. Eventually, Wiesler's activities catch up to him, and while there is no proof of wrongdoing, he finds himself in menial jobs, until the unbelievable happens. The Lives of Others scored 8.4 out of 10 on IMDb. These are the best spy movies of all the time. If you are happy, please don't forget to like this video. If you wish more, subscribe right now this channel. For now, goodbye.